If you're watching this, I'll be honest, I did not want to make this video, and there are several other people who never wanted this information to be released. But for the past 2.5 years, I've been a part of the deepest parts of the trading industry, and often I've stayed quiet, believing that it wasn't really my place to tell. But it wasn't until recently that I realized there's an aspect to this that is so detrimental that it is likely the main reason for your downfall. A world shrouded in secrecy and deception. And honestly, today we're gonna delve deep into the shadows to uncover the truth behind these seemingly legit operations. And also, for the protection of my safety, and not to imply that one company is more legitimized than the other, I may refrain from explicitly naming anyone or anything in particular. But if you happen to put more pieces together than I let on, well, I cannot blame you. Nor can I stop you, honestly. But lastly, for legal reasons, these are my opinions that I have extensively researched in the same way you would something that you'd probably consider factual information. But again, they are just my opinions. My name is Kelly OG. I first started trading 2.5 years ago, in which I turned $26 to $100,000 within 9 months in the stock market. And then recently I've blown up for turning $1,000 into $140,000 in my first 55 days trading within the Forex market. I currently have 180,000 subscribers on YouTube, 140,000 followers on Instagram, 200,000 followers on TikTok, and a beautiful 27,000 on Twitter. And honestly, trading has really helped propel me into various opportunities and businesses. And even though I'm currently 21, I'm most known for going viral for making over $6.5 million by the age of 20. Oh, and reselling Popeye's chicken sandwiches when I was in high school. But becoming a person of influence in the trading space led to me being allowed into the deep inner circle of what goes on behind the scenes in the business world of trading. You know, what they do, what they sell, and even the people at the very top. So without further ado, let's begin. Proprietary trading is the act in which a trader trades for their own profit. But recently, prop firms have started dominating the overall trading industry by offering the ability to provide traders with the capital to trade and receive a majority percentage of their profits after completing a series of tests. Sounds great for you, right? No, it's not. If it was, I probably wouldn't be making this video. The prop firm industry was first popularized by a company known as FTMO in 2014. FTMO was founded by, and excuse me if I mispronounce this, Otakar Sufner and his fellow classmate, Marek Vasicek. There's a third founder who is mentioned, but not by name, and I assumed he was a private investor who provided the capital for these two young college graduates to start this company. Now, as I was on their website and I scrolled through the About Us page featured on their main website, I found a certain piece of information that I believe should honestly invalidate their entire business model. After briefly talking about how the founding traders and their partner had common interests within trading and money and risk management, their next sentence becomes increasingly alarming. Despite the different founders' approaches to trading, they have something in common. The awareness that professionalism can only be achieved through strong discipline in observing one's own rules. I mean, that's what they themselves said on their About Us page. I mean, think about the lunacy behind boldly displaying the informative history of your company and putting it on the main page of your website while having it fully contradict exactly what your company requires for the traders you are trying to resonate with to buy your product. Yes, I said product. Prop firms are sales companies selling products, not investments firms selling opportunities. They give you strict rules that you must abide by, and not just you, but every single trader is given the same set of rules in order to gain access to trading capital. However, the longest known and most popularized prop firm themselves outlines that different traders have different trading styles and that professionalism can only be achieved through strong discipline in observing one's own rules. They clearly admit that every trader is different and trades differently, yet they set up their systems for everyone to abide by the same rules. For example, if you have a $100,000 account, they'll let you control your risk management, just don't lose more than 5% of the account or you'll lose the entire account. Oh, and you have to make 8 to 10% of the entire account in 30 days, but whatever you make in the first 5 to 10 days doesn't really count. And I know some of you are fundamental traders, but don't plan on trading news because that's apparently trying to cheat the system. So you'll also lose your account that way. And no matter how much you trust your trade, there's no way we'll allow you to use a high lot size, especially not 140 lots, because it poses us too much of a financial risk. And if you end up having a profitable trade, we'll actually have to pay you out, which is exactly what we don't want to do. Why? Because if you catch 140 lots on any pip amount, well, that means they stand to lose a substantial amount of money, which serves extremely detrimental to our investors that are risking their hard-earned money for you to trade an account with, except there are no investors. You see, the truth is the prop firm game is not truly meant for you to win. I'm sure you're starting to get that that's the point I'm trying to make here. I don't know, most people are under the impression that there are these big multi-million-dollar investors that are granting traders $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 of their hard-earned money to hopefully allow these traders to make some side income off of their skill and hard work. While the investors fairly are taking a percentage cut because this person is trading your money for themselves, but of course it's mutually beneficial environment because they're gonna get a cut too, and you're gonna get a cut too. But I want you to think of how realistic it would be for you to give someone access to $100,000 for the price of $500. It almost sounds like the crypto scammers that make fake profiles and DM you with my picture saying, hey, if you give me $500, I'm gonna give you $100,000 and then I'll only take 15%. Oh, and since we mentioned it, I just want to put out there, I will not trade for you. I don't have a WhatsApp. I don't have a Telegram. I don't take a percent of your profits, none of that. So if you see any of those accounts that tell you to message them, they're simply not me. Think about this. Why would the leading prop firm in the world, the one that established the rules, the one that makes $300 million a year off of you, outline that they themselves believe that you have the best chance of success sticking to your own rules, but then forcing millions of traders to have the same requirements and stick to the same rules? Requirements for a $100,000 account, such as you have 30 to 60 days to complete your phase 1 and phase 2. You must wait 10 days for your trades to count, meaning you really only have 20. You can only risk a maximum $5,000 or 5% of the account in a day or you lose the account. You can't lose more than $10,000 total or you lose the account. You're restricted to trading news for some financial instruments and important meetings. Now answer me this, in what reputable industry does it make sense to require something that you yourself offer the complete opposite of? The entire business model is a contradiction of the journey and beliefs of their own founders. There is no one way to validate risk management, to validate consistency, to validate skill by one set of rules. Every trader trades differently. Every trader risks differently. If you go on YouTube and search how to trade, you'll find a composition of every type of trading strategy in the world, from chart patterns to supply and demand, to following moving averages, trading with only indicators, trading with no indicators, and even only by trading news. Then you'll search, how much money should I start with? And you'll see answers from $100 to $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 to whatever you want, and even $26. The fact of the matter is that every true trader understands that there is no right way to trade. Every way literally works for somebody. To combine a demographic of millions of people and subscribe them to one way of proving their profitability is a requirement that nobody truly in the trading industry truly believes in. Think about how many different mentors you have and subscribe to online. Think about how many different opinions and methods they preach on trading. Now think about how many of them have prop firms and how similar their rules are. Does it make sense at all? Nobody believes you should trade the same, and nobody actually trades the exact same. But they believe that your accuracy can be measured on one set of rules. You'll have one mentor that tells you risk management depends on capital, not percentage. But their prop firm tells you that you can't risk more than 5% in a day. Then another mentor will tell you that they primarily swing trade, but their prop firm doesn't let you swing trades over the weekend. Or you'll feel like you can't swing trades at all because you have a certain amount of time you must complete your challenges within. So you can't hold a trade too long because what if it doesn't work out? From an outside perspective, you've been told that it makes sense. You likely still believe at this very moment that it makes sense. But I can firmly tell you right now, from an inside perspective, that's exactly where they want you to be. Because it simply does not make sense. And everyone inside knows that. That's why today I made sure that it was my main mission to bring you inside the doors that have for years been sealed to keep you uninformed. It's a privilege to be here, and it's a privilege to know this information. And I'm honestly risking my position and some relationships and even people that I've looked up to that I get to talk to all the time just to let you know this information. But it's against my integrity not to do so, so I have to make sure that you know this. So all I ask is that you don't take the rest lightly. Understand that your future is dependent on your decisions, as is their future dependent on your purchase. So let me highlight just how brainwashed they're glad you are. You have prop firm owners casually talking on Twitter about their income and their goals, discussing how they're running $100 million businesses because that's the goal, off of you. They do so many account giveaways and improvements for you to continue to purchase. They'll seem as if they're trying to help you just so you trust them. They'll offer higher refund bonuses for you when you pass an account to incentivize you to buy or try, with the idea in mind that it will completely be risk-free. When truly, it does not matter either way because you will still make that purchase that will continue to line their pockets and raise the ever-growing profitability of their business. This is all off of your back, off of your hopes and your dreams and your ability to believe in yourself. I remember even when I first started out trading, all I yearned for was more capital. I'd grown an account from $26 to $3,000 in 2 weeks, but as soon as I realized that that could only buy me 2 iPhones, I started to feel the pressure to make even more, even faster. Then I would go on different social media platforms and witness these other traders making substantially more income than me, which would then raise my need to win even more. I wasn't in the position I wanted to be, and I was ready to attempt to cheat my way there. It would make me look better, it would give me more reputability, and ultimately, it would change my life. I'd be able to afford the things I once couldn't live without, the things that I never had, everything that I wanted. But the truth is, had I not been forced to grow that small account, I would not have been more delicate with learning and understanding the intricacies of the market, technical analysis, charting, none of it. I would not have established my own rules as the founders themselves of FTMO say. I would never have taken that $26 to over $100,000 and $1,000 to over $140,000, and I would not even be able to properly teach you guys how it's possible. Let me keep it real with you. This is something that everyone within the inner circle of the trading world understands. From years of experience and the analytical data that you are providing them, the truth is, as long as they continue to hold the fishing pole, you'll always be the fish that's jumping for that worm. Dependency is a billion-dollar business. We see it in the pharmaceutical field, we see it in rehab, and if you continuously follow their rules, you will never be able to depend on your own. Only theirs. You will always see trading as a percentage game, even though they themselves don't view it that way. You will feel the sense of urgency to trade every single day because you're accustomed to having a time limit restriction. When you constantly feel like you need something, you will always return to it. And that's the beauty of the business model that they've created. The number one reason people start trading is because they see it as a source of income that can make them lottery money without ever having to hit the lottery. A source of income that can get them excited about turning absolutely nothing into something in the shortest amount of time possible. The secret cheat code to 6 figures, the guaranteed route to millions. The truth is, trading is a constant chase to prove yourself as better than the average being. to be in the 5% that make it, and for many, to chase back the losses they chalked up to the market casino. So what other way to make trading create the time and location freedom that is always advertised? Well, here's the solution that you believe. More capital to make more money. What's the real solution? Well, we'll get there. And I'll tell you exactly what the inner circle understands that you don't. But I mean, think about it. In a world where you can be driven anywhere, receive food from anywhere at any time, have groceries delivered to your doorstep in a click of a button, we've been led to believe that success can be that simple. $100,000 at your hands with a click of a button. Our attention spans are being exploited to believe every bit of hardship can suddenly become easy. It's not. And it's incredibly unrealistic. How unrealistic? 99.9% unrealistic. That's not a number that I'm just throwing out there to be funny or make a joke regarding germs. It's the truth. Only 0.1% of people will ever make it. If you ever take the time to search up the statistics of the prop firm that you're considering joining, or any in general, which you should be considering you're risking your hard-earned money for this opportunity, and anything you're putting your money up for should have diligent research. But if you ever take the time to search up the statistics of any prop firm, you'll find very limited information. Why? Well, it should be very obvious by now that they simply don't want you to know the truth. I mean, think about it. What's the most analytics you ever get from a prop firm on a consistent basis? It's not their pass rate, it's not their payout rate, it's always their payout amount. They are pushing the one thing that they know you are incentivized by the most: money. Every single month, the number one thing that you see prop firms report is how much money they paid out. But have you ever wondered why that's the height of the data we see? Why can't they tell us the ratio of people who bought an account and reached their challenge, bought an account and passed their verification, phase 1 and phase 2, people who passed their verification and got paid out, and what is the average lifespan of a funded account? How many payout cycles do funded traders last? Now, it's been a common known fact that when people divulge information for you and give you free game, you tend to trust them more. It's why so many YouTubers are seen as more reputable than somebody that's selling their own course and won't give you any free information behind a paywall. So I say that to say that there are prop firms out there that I've actually found that are giving you this free information, such as trade like the owners, and telling you that these owners risk this amount and this amount. And there was one in particular that I found very, very concerning, and that I think you should be very alarmed by. Now, one of the owners said that their risk management strategy is risking 2.5% per trade. Now, with a trade amount which only allows you to risk 5% a trade or you lose that account, 2 wrong trades in a day and you're finished. You think this hasn't been set up purposely to make sure you fail? Because if you fail, you'll be running back to make another purchase. And as long as you make another purchase, they get to keep making those posts because they still have a running company. And on top of that, a lot of times, they're not even the ones that have to worry about the marketing. See, what you don't know is a lot of your favorite influencers online have secret deals with these prop firms. Have you ever wondered why everyone is doing a giveaway? Why everyone suddenly has a code for you to look at? Why everyone decides that they've partnered with this company to give away this prop firm, or they're giving away a new one all the time? Why people push prop firms so hard, how they magically have all this funding and are always getting awesome payouts, but you haven't actually gotten real recollection of how they actually trade? Well, it's because these prop firms know that if they reach out to these influencers, they never have to show their face, but you will do all the marketing for them. And so they will go and say, give away this account, give away this account. And remember, they're partnered with these brokers, so they control the behind the scenes, because these are demo accounts with manipulated numbers that they control. A lot of times they can manipulate you out of trades, they can manipulate your spread, they can manipulate your entry. You ever wonder why your stop loss was randomly hit, but TradingView doesn't show that same trade that played out? Why your entry was never tapped into, or it did, but it didn't validate? And you ever wonder why the people who push these things the most never have a sound or clear system on their journey, but they always have a link that they are pushing? you guys have to realize they are doing it in front of your face, and they are using the people that you see as you against you. The people that are right next to you, the regular average Joe that you said, hey, he's also a trader too, and he doesn't have a course, or maybe he does have a course, but he doesn't own a prop firm. Oh, but he's a part of one. You guys have to open up your eyes, please. I cannot beg anymore, because I am risking my reputation to do this, but I'll be honest, I've made plenty of money in my lifetime that it doesn't serve me any disinterest to tell you this information. That if right now all my sources of income got cut, well, guess what? I still know how to trade. But can you say the same when you've been trading a demo account for years and the only psychological loss that you hold to losing an account is the $200, $500, or $50 that you paid for it? You never have actually experienced losing $10,000, except whenever you paid for all of those prop firm accounts. Now think about if you took all those accounts you paid for and you put that into a cash account, how much money that would have made you with all the correct trades you had to make to pass challenge 1, to pass your verification, to even pass to get a payout if you ever even have. I mean, I asked on Twitter, how much have you spent on a prop firm, or how many have you passed, and how much money have you made total? And the results were staggering. Guys, we understand that we're not actually making money with this thing, but because a promise and opportunity keeps being sold, because somebody says that they have $2.2 million funded and $1.3 million funded, that's not their money. It's all a demo, it's a simulation. So put your money where your mouth is and put it even further to where your brain is, and use your knowledge to truly change your lifestyle, not depending on someone who needs you to continue to live theirs. So after deeply scrubbing the internet just to get some kind of information, which is not really the easiest thing to do because it should be way easier than it is, I found some statistics from my Forex funds in October and November of 2021. Now in October of 2021, of everyone that purchased an account, 10% passed phase 1. Of that 10%, 24% passed phase 2. Those are great numbers, but only 3% actually received money. And that's not to say how much money they actually received. We don't know. It could have been a lot, it could have been nothing, it could have been a little, But realistically, 7 out of every 10,000 accounts are gonna actually get paid out. That was in October and November of 2021. We are in 2023. The industry has blown. So imagine the numbers now. Everything that's being pushed is capital, but not education. So we're seeing a lot of money, but a lot of misinformation. It has to make sense at some point. Because the truth is, whether you paid people out 6, 7, or 8 figures within a single month tells nothing to your potential client about how valuable your service will be to them. But they know that. Let me tell you the truth. These prop firms know that. And being a part of these inner level deep conversations, I have found that the "I want to help you" rhetoric being pushed is only truly to help themselves. Trust me, guys, I'm trying to plead for you. These people at the top of the industry sit and laugh at the fact that you are money hungry, and they use it against you time and time again because you live and are driven by the dream of the success stories that are pushed, but not the realism of what it takes to get there. And many times those stories that you are so intimately following or so blown away by have been built and orchestrated by the prop firm themselves. But stick around, we'll get to that. These firms are so successful because of your desire to make more money that they are promising you the jackpot, and you keep buying their lottery tickets. I mean, think about just how brainwashed they know that you are, that they comfortably discuss the amount of money they plan to make off of you openly on social media, more than they discuss the actual analytics of the likelihood for you to pass. If these companies really cared about giving you the opportunity to have $100,000 to profitably make money off of, they would be providing key analytics and resources to help you get better, retain your account, and make money to increase the payout amount that they make sure to brag about every single month. They would be open to providing us with a purchase to completion ratio, a completion to payout ratio, and retainment data for you to benefit from, how likely it is for you to benefit from their company as well. Think of it like this, right? Car dealerships don't constantly promote how many cars they've sold to their customers. They constantly outline the specs and factors that the cars they're selling entail. They'll tell you how long they plan to last, the different warranties to cover you in the case of damage. They'll tell you whether the seats are heated or cooled, and even various safety features. This isn't bad business, it's honest business. We obviously know that that salesman is going to make a commission when they sell the car, no matter what, as prop firms are going to make money whenever you buy an account, whether you pass or not. However, if they feel this type of information shouldn't be disclosed, shouldn't that tell you enough about the true intention behind these falsified opportunities meant to help you? Their propaganda is working so well on you that you actually believe that a company that you are funding, as well as trading for their investors, should not disclose the likelihood of whether your trading ability poses them with financial harm. If you lose, is that not their investors' money that is being washed away? Shouldn't you be more open and aware of the likelihood that you may lose someone else's money? At the end of the day, you are going to be the one that has to give up a percentage of your earnings to pay out those investors. Correct? Remember earlier when I mentioned that FTMO said that a trader risking to use 140 lots could serve them serious financial damage? It's presumed by most that that statement would trigger irreparable losses amongst their investors, when the truth is, there is no downside for prop firms. They can only run a loss if more traders get paid out than traders that sign up. And since the requirements to get paid out are so extensive, a payout is unlikely to happen. Sounds kind of triangular, doesn't it? But let's not forget, even for the funded traders, there is no guarantee of an actual payout happening. The official FTMO account agreement that you receive only after passing an account, which is not available to the open public, states the following in section 3.1.3. All trading that the customer performs through the services is simulated only, and that the execution of a demo trade within the services provided shall in no way constitute an instruction to trade in real financial markets or with real currency. Essentially saying that you are aware that you are taking demo trades, and if at any point FTMO decides that they don't want to consider your trade as a trade that coincides with the real financial markets, they don't have to. So if at any point you make more money than they would like, they could simply disregard your trade. Now, if that's the top prop firm in the industry, think about the rest. Oh, and if you ever happen to try and shed light to what they are doing with a funded account, FTMO will threaten to seize your account and pursue legal action against you. They will exploit your need for them and prohibit your right to speak the truth because they're afraid of the truth being revealed. This isn't like dealing with a stubborn broker. This is directly like dealing with a dictator. You have a certain amount of rules that you must follow within a certain amount of time or you will be penalized. And even if you do follow all the rules, they can still penalize you for no reason at all. Sound fair? Well, FTMO, I don't have an account with you guys, nor have I ever, so those rules technically don't apply to me. I mean, guys, think about it. Every single day there's a new prop firm entering the trading space, pushing for you to join them, promising higher payouts, less restrictions, lower purchase prices, I mean, you name it. In a world where capitalism thrives, how could so many investors feel so charitable to invest tens to hundreds of millions of dollars with a high risk that the trader that is trading their money might lose 12% of it? I mean, easily do the math. If 1,000 people purchase $100,000 funded accounts, well, that's $100 million just for 1,000 people to use those accounts. But as you can see in FTMO's own agreement, they tell you themselves, this is not real money, this is a demo. We'll get back to that. Let's get to how these prop firms are actually created. I'm gonna paint a picture for you guys. You're struggling, right? You wanna make $1 million or maybe several or maybe a couple $100,000, and your trading journey hasn't been the best, but you understand that traders spend the most money on trying to make more money. So how do you get there without attaching your face and selling courses? Well, let's pretend that you yourself or you beg a friend to pull together $30,000 and decide to start a prop firm. Yes, I said $30,000. Where most prop firms have you believe that it takes tens to hundreds of millions of dollars to start one, it actually takes much, much less. You take that $30,000 to another prop firm owner, ask him to build you a prop firm for whatever price while he takes a percentage of your revenue, and hypothetically speaking, let's say he charges $15,000 to create your prop firm. Now you are $15,000 ready for payouts. If you charge $500 for a $100,000 account, all you need is 200 people to sign up for you to make $100,000 yourself. Now you're already over 600% in profit before you have to pay anyone out, which could still take another couple of weeks or months because of all the phases and verifications that they have to go through. And that's exactly how it goes. In 2021, there was a big prop firm that started to hit the trading industry, and for legal reasons, I won't say the name, but the owners started to report to their friends the income that was being produced. So a lot of the other traders that sit at the top wanted to cash in, so they asked him to do something called a white label. Now, a white label is when one company buys its product from another company and then rebrands it as its own. So this inner circle at the top started creating and duplicating this prop firm. They would then have their own created within 30 days and launch under another name with slightly different rules and incentives for you to buy. However, in order to actually have a dashboard and access to funded accounts for you to use, they would then find a broker, then get a software, which was a CRM technology that you could rent out for X amount of dollars, connect it to a partnered broker that would then automate usernames and passwords for these demo accounts you receive as a part of completing your phase 1 and phase 2, or challenge and verification, and also even after you're funded. The same demo accounts that FTMO openly admits you will be using once receiving your funded account. Listen, I don't get paid to say any of this. I've rejected the opportunity to make over $75 million by standing against the acts of prop firms, and I've built my entire trading journey by strictly cash accounts, which is what allowed me the opportunity to start my company, Cash Capital. I've sat back and let the steamroll for too long, but I can't continue to allow you to be brainwashed openly and be mocked, to be taken advantage of, and have people look at your analytics and laugh at you behind the scenes. You can truly turn nothing into something with a cash account. You can keep all of your profits with no restrictions and trade at your own will. You just have to learn the skill to do it for you and not for a company that does not get paid if you don't win. In my time within the trading industry, I have helped over 12 million people make well over $200 million through my company, through my free YouTube content and overall social media content. It's okay to go cash. All of your mentors have done it. Every solo trader in history has done it. You can do it too. Listen, it's time we took a stand against the people at the top who have thrived there off of the stress and sweat of your belief in yourself. The more we come together, the more they must abide by your rules versus controlling you. When you depend on no one, you create your world. So stop letting them continue to pull the strings.